We are live.
What is up, everybody? We are live here talking about the Shed King with New Edge Paints and Oops Paints, guys, Luxe Customs. We are going to talk about the Shed King tonight and all the awesome things going on with him. Okay, we got New Edge 2021 and Oops Paints on here right now, guys. What's up, guys?
What up, buddy?
What's going on? Sorry for no camera.
No, it's all good. So, like I said,
Sorry
guys,
for
we
my
are going
crooked
to,
hat.
yeah, make sure it's sideways with money sticking out of it.
Oh, I can make that happen. Hold on, we gonna do that. we gonna make that happen.
I might have to join you before the end of the night.
We have to do that.
Yeah, there you go, man.
There we go. I don't have no
All right.
dollars in there either.
So first things first, obviously we're on here talking about the Shed King from Texas, guys, and we are going to be talking about all the amazing things that he does to make a living, okay? This is strictly for entertainment purposes, guys. This is not sitting here doing anything serious. This is literally entertainment purposes only. So take it with a grain of salt.
Yep.
And absolutely, guys, we're going to have fun tonight. Thank you guys for joining in. If you guys know anything about New Edge, he is from North Carolina. Hey, New Edge, why don't you tell us a little bit about your backstory?
Pretty much, I friggin' was in the military, got out from blowing my knee apart. I've always been in a shop. My parents had a shop up in New York when I was a kid. Went into the military because of some other stuff. Got out and opened up a shop. Pretty
Awesome,
much,
man.
and it's been. Then we it was when we originally opened it up. It was called 704 Customs because me and my buddy went in, brought his shop in and my shop in, and we did it together. And he wanted out. I kept the business. I bought him out. And then about 2018, I kind of got sick of dealing with customers and not getting paid and having to chase my money. And I went to work for KIR Restorations out of Concord as their head painter and body shop tech. And after that, he closed his shop down and I opened up New Edge Paint and Performance.
Absolutely, man. So Bryce Mason says, since you got the hot hat and the money now, you got to do the dance. Great. That's so
Had to
great,
do
guys.
it. I mean, but see, the thing with the Shed King and me, he had fives and ones. I got a stack of hundreds. So, I mean,
There you go. There you go.
And I ain't flexing because money don't make a man makes the money. So, quote that from JJ the Boss.
Yep.
But
absolutely. So a little bit of background on New Edge, man. So Oops, I know you want to talk about your Luxe Customs. Absolutely. Let's jump into that.
So, yeah, I actually have a huge IT background. Went to school for computer science, did that, owned a couple of larger IT businesses and one phone company that's still running today. And during the progress of all of that, while I was in school, I worked for a couple of automotive places, which was more on the mechanical side. But I guess really ever since 14, I have been rebuilding cars. No, I have not worked in a collision shop. No, I will never work in a collision shop. But during all that process, I've been rebuilding cars in a pretty large garage I had at my house. And I just kept getting more and more people want me to work on their car. Well, I decided to try to get into buying cars on Copart. So I rented this building and was rebuilding cars I was buying from Copart and wanting to put them on YouTube. And during that process, people saw that and wanted me to work on their car and repair their car or build their car in a custom way. So that's where it kind of got started that brand off with Bama Builds, because everybody calls me Bama as my nickname. So then I just realized I couldn't grow with the Bama Builds brand and changed it to Luxe Customs a little bit over a year ago. So that's kind of everything in a nutshell.
cool.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So, I mean,
I think everybody's tried that Copart deal stuff before.
It was really successful. I made a tremendous amount of money. The problem with it is the wait period between the inspections and the state
Yep.
and getting in titles. You know, if you get the car and get it priced right and you get your parts, and I was not a fan of aftermarket parts. I would hit junkyards and buy OEM used parts before I would go buy aftermarket. Just, you know,
Shoot.
it fit better just all around, and that was really good money, but it was a headache. It's a big,
Yep.
big headache.
It is a big
Yeah.
headache because no used part comes perfect. That's for sure.
No.
I hate
No.
used parts. Right now, I've got 265 Mustangs that I'm literally, one of them I've tore down to almost just the roof skin, and we have nothing but used part. I mean, I'm sorry, aftermarket parts, and I'm dying. I'm literally dying.
Right now, I'm struggling trying to find an 06 GTO rear quarter and outer wheelhouse. Can't find one.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure
if
you've hit
anybody-
LKQ, and we hate LKQ.
Dude, LKQ is still, they say it's still in transit. And I ordered it in November.
I hate LKQ.
So if
I
that tells you
absolutely
anything. So if anybody
hate
out there in YouTube land has an 06 GTO that they want to sell, hit me up.
Hey, do me a favor, New Edge.
Yeah.
Write this name down. Councilman Automotive.
All
They're in. I think they're considered in Mobile, Alabama.
Okay.
They are part of a used parts network. They actually designed some software to find parts.
Yeah.
And if they don't have it, they have a network of about 2,000 other yards that they can pull those parts from. And if I can remember, I'll send you their number on the Otiki Talk.
Okay, that'll work. I appreciate it. Ugh.
Nice, guys.
All right,
So-
now we divest. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're all good, guys. No, that's what this is about. Like, let's talk. Let's have a good time. But obviously, we're gonna have to jump into these 500 paint jobs, and $200 more for
For some red.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
No, the hilarious thing is he says he's a custom painter, but yet everything he posts is trying to be custom paintwork.
Yeah, really.
Like he just destroyed that Terminator that he did.
Well, let me jump it off. How about that?
Go for it, buddy.
So again, I apologize for no camera. I'm at my in-laws. I'm at my sister-in-law. So start off with JP. Oh, Jesus Christ. Checking. And
Daughter wife.
we had a pretty actually good relationship for about a year and a half. We communicated. I helped him out on a giveaway that he did and try to help him set up the rules and stuff. We chatted back and forth, and he finally understood to open that giveaway nationwide. And I was like, hey, offer it nationwide instead of just in your hometown or Texas or wherever. And, if they don't bring it, that's not your fault. You're still offering that out. Well, we communicated back and forth all the way through him getting the shed at his place and him being able to.
Did they really drop it off? Like, did they actually drop it off on a truck?
Oh, yeah. And
Man. So we were all right. It is an RTO building.
Oh, man.
Yes.
It is a porta shed.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
And talked him all the way through it. Matter of fact, he was taking all the notes on when I built my paint booth. And, I was giving him all that information. I was giving him suppliers that he could get stuff from cheaper than what he was currently paying. So, everything worked out. We talked not via phone, but more via TikTok and chat back and forth. I could probably bring up those logs, by the way. And let's hear this shed mess.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm not even paying attention to the comments. We got some comments rolling in.
I I can't remember if it's right when I got my booth finished or if it's when I got the new Sherwin mixing bank. There was a all of a sudden he popped off all of my feeds and he blocked me. We literally talked like the day before, and not a word. He blocked me for no apparent reason.
Well, he got what he wanted out of you.
I guess so.
You're the reason he has the Shed King.
So I mean, you know, I felt like I was used and abused. But you know, again, still to this day, I'm not going to bash him for hustling. Only thing I dislike is the information he's giving out to people that's not correct information.
Right.
You know,
What? You know you can paint in 30-degree weather and it don't affect the cure time.
Not when you're using, you know, Autobahn with that new jobber. Oh, I forgot they canceled it.
But no,
y'all heard about that he got the new Autobahn jobber, and then they pulled the contract out from underneath him 2 days later.
Well,
yeah, I seen that.
That right there is when he ran his mouth too much.
And that may be, you know, again, I don't wish ill will towards anybody, but you know, I see what he's doing to both of you guys, as in, you know, the bashing that's going on. And the bashing is 100%, you know, killing.
I brought it on myself. I'm gonna tell you right now, I brought it on myself. I went at him like 100%. Like, I don't expect him to let up anytime soon on me.
Oh yeah, but also that can both help your business and hurt your business as well as his. But you know, so like he has a larger following than you on social media at this point, I would say, wouldn't you say?
He's at like 51,000. I'm at like 4,000.
Yeah, but he's got like 22 accounts.
Yeah, no, I can't keep up with him. So he's probably got 100,000 people, the same people following him on all the accounts. And I figured out how he's making that $500 job work, because he's getting paid off of TikTok.
That, and he's using very low end base, but you know, according to him, all base is base. But we all know that all base is not the same. You know, you have different toner levels, you have grades of binders, you have how long that color will be able to stand out in the UV, no matter whether it's got clear color that has UV protection or not. Well, that color can still fade.
You're talking about the UV protection in like that stuff. I mean, look at the House of Color, the neon colors. I don't care what clear you put on those suckers, they'll last 6 months out in the sun. Yeah. Just because the UV on it is garbage. And that's out of House of Color. So, and I've sprayed them a million times, and I won't do it no more, just for the simple fact that I can't keep warranting shit that doesn't last. So
yeah, you know, I mean, once again, I feel, at least for my business, something that I want to put my name on, that I warranty. I know there are people out there that do not want to warranty their jobs or their product or wet sand and buff. That is just not my cup of tea. I am a custom shop, and I want to deliver a 100% custom product. I'm not a fly by night, you know. So.
I gotta bring something up right now. So JP unblocked me on one of his, I think it was minimalist paint. I'm sorry, Shed King unblocked me in minimalist paint. Okay. And he reached out and he's sent me this video of you, New Edge, and he's like, this guy was freaking out about a $3,000 paint job or something. And like, and I'm sitting there like, dude,
the Crown Vic one?
I would not do an overall for less than like $5,000. So like, good for New Edge.
See, the problem here with that car was that was my tattoo artist. Okay. The very first time I ever painted that car, he wanted to trade out some artwork and all this stuff. And it was just supposed to be a promotional car for the tattoo shop. It was literally bought out of Copart in pieces, and we pieced it back together, painted it like a plum purple the first time, and then he ran into a deer. And
Right.
he came to me again. He brought the card back to me. He's like, all right, I need this, 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 and this. I'm like, bet. Um, and we were walking around the shop, and I just pulled a body kit off of a Toyota Corolla or a Camry off the
Right.
car, and it was sitting in the dumpster, like the trash pile. And he's like, yo, can we put that on my car? I'm like, no. He's like, just the bottom lip. Can you graft that onto the car? I'm like, yeah, I can graft it onto the car, but it's going to look like shit. And
Right.
he talked me into doing it, but he never brought me any money.
Oh,
And the
geez.
backstory on this whole thing was the car sat at the shop for a little over 3.5, 4 months, basically the whole length of the summer. And he came to me. He said he's got a loan. He's got to go get one of them payday loans or the title loans, whatever the fuck it is on the car.
Yeah.
And but he needed the car done to get the loan. I'm like, all right, I've known you for a minute. I'll do it. I'll front the job. So he was supposed to come Monday afternoon or something like that to get the car. Mind you, this is 2015, so it's 10 years ago. So it may be a little off on my memory, but I had to go pick up parts or something. I wasn't there. He showed up. They called me, and I had one of my guys go. I was like, all right, I'll let you take the car, but my guy's riding with you to get a check. And he's like, all right, cool. So my guy jumps in the car with him. Car needs fuel, obviously, because it's been sitting. And they take off. They go to the gas station. Sean Nunn pulls a 9mm on him and tells him to get the hell out the car. My guy
Dang.
calls Concord City Police. They show up. They can't do anything because the car's legally in his name and the car's off my property, off the shop's property.
Right.
So Sean took the car,
Well,
and then you guys saw the rest, the video of it being bashed. But that car was done in 3 days from start to finish.
it wasn't even the point. So New Edge, the point was like, he's like bashing somebody for doing a $3,500 paint job. I don't know if I would do much better for a $3,500 paint job, to be completely honest.
The problem was
if
it
I have
wasn't
an
even a
all over in my
$3,500 job.
shop and it's something decent, it's 10 grand. That's your start. That's my shop. And I'm not bashing you guys if you do cheaper work than that. But if I have an all over in my shop, it's 10 grand base, like before anything. And
my minimum is 10 grand. I won't even look at something less than 10 grand.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie to nobody. I do my stuff a little bit cheaper. The higher end stuff is gonna be higher end, but I can do a decent all over anywhere between 35 and 5 grand.
Yeah. Right. Now the red Bronco, I did that for a family person for about 4,500, but that was not using good quality clear coat, so
yeah, right. And that's exactly what we're getting. So there's a market for everybody. Is there a market for the people down in the Shed King? Absolutely, there is a market. And if he's making money, absolutely, that's cool. The whole point here, guys, is that the Shed King wants to sit here and say he's the best and then jump on everybody else's stuff and saying they don't know what they're talking about when he's sitting there spreading misinformation.
Yep. And that was my biggest bitch. It wasn't the fact that he was doing $500 paint jobs, because, I mean, cool. Do it. Have fun. I'm not doing it, but if you want to, have fun. It was the problem that his tech support or tech, whatever he was giving out on these videos, was garbage. It's wrong. It's not right. Just like lacquer primer. Lacquer primer had its place back in the day, 100%. Sure. But there's better quality materials out there now. So why keep going backwards if you can go forward?
Plus, we're also dealing with different alloys today.
Yeah,
and I mean, your lacquer primer does not like plastic at all.
It doesn't like aluminum.
Nope.
I mean,
but still, even if we break down metal, if we look at like the 60s and 70s metal compared to what we have today, well, back then it was American metal.
Yep.
And, we had good quality iron ore that was in that metal. Now we're getting like 40 times recycled metal, plus all this hot lime that they're putting in metal nowadays. So, the metal today is thinner and it's crap.
Yep. 100%.
See, people don't look at the back foundation, your metals. Your metal is, some metals, even after you put an 80 grit scratch in it, if you sit there and leave it there for like 6 weeks, that metal can actually move just a little bit and close that gap up.
Yep.
Right.
But that's
Yep.
me. Like I said, I'm weird, but hey.
But just remember, the Shed King says that all that matters for paint adhesion is abrasive. So
Yeah.
make sure you sand in your panels.
the mechanical
with
bond.
320. That's all that matters.
Now let me bring up something here. So PD Custom says still need etch. Well, I do use etch randomly. I try not to, but I use true epoxy.
Yep.
And I'm trying to move into the epoxy high build, but I still prefer just straight epoxy 1-to-1 and put that epoxy on there, let it cure, let it flash off to the TDS, 8 hours, 6 hours. Then I can spray 3, 4, maybe 5 coats of high build 2K primer. That way, that gives me a foundation to block to. And you'll see some of my TikTok and some of my videos. Right above my epoxy, I'll spray a dark primer, and that gives me a kind of like, hey, if I've sanded that far, I need to go back and spray high build back, because if I hit that dark primer, I've cut through 2-3 coats of high build, and I'm going to hit metal real soon. And that type of epoxy does not sand well at all, and I guarantee it.
Nope, and it's not meant to sand well. Actually, it's not meant to be a build. It's not meant to be sanded. It's meant to be scuffed and shot a high build over it. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people think that you can, and all of us do it in production. With insurance work and stuff, we're spraying primer right over bare metal, 2K high build primer. Is that the right way to do it? Absolutely not. Is it efficient? Sure. So that comes down to what I was trying to say is making sure that if you're doing a restoration job, make sure you guys are using the proper primer for what you're doing, because it does matter. And
Now, like, I'm probably going to really maul up this name. Is it squeegees or squeegums or squidgies? They have, which just now got bought out by English Color, and they sell it over at colorcoalition.com. It is a true epoxy high build. So it's kind of like your epoxy and your 2K high build all in one.
Isn't
And it
Linear
has the
Blocks
same.
like that too.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Didn't Linear Blocks come out with something like that?
Yeah,
that
but
blue
I don't
chip?
know if I want that blue and all that stuff to bleed through, to be frank with you.
Yeah. Like,
And I'll be
I
honest, the Lessenol or Sickens, whatever you want to call it, Axo Nobles, they have the color build.
Yes.
That has a high acid content in it that actually etches into the metal. So if you hardline that stuff and block it out, it'll show because it ate into your paint. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They do make that NCP for PBG. That is also a direct to metal primer. But I think it's inferior to epoxy to metal, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I bought some of the squeegees. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Both black and white, because I like mixing my colors to get my correct back color. So I've bought it. It's a little pricey. It's like $300 a kit per color. And they do have gray, but I like mixing, for my correct gray shade. And we'll see. Ryan Turbo on TikTok, and he owns a custom restoration shop out in Missouri, and he's been on some of the big name brand TV shows where they restore cars. He's the one that turned me on to it. So I'm interested. I told him, I'll try anything once, but I need backing. I need something that I can trust, because I'm buying it and I'm going to test it. I'm going to kind of do what another company out in Texas that sells paint products does. They'll take that sample and send it off and have it tested under current conditions to see if this will last, 10 years. That's what I'm going to do and come out of pocket on it to confirm it's something that I believe I can stand behind.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read these comments.
Yeah, Bryson said they told us in school that we should spray epoxy after 45 minutes or so. Go back over it with high build so you can sand it and then do your body work.
Yes.
What's y'all's opinion?
Epoxy does have a window, everybody. I think it's 2 hours for most, 3 hours for some of them. You can go back over and spray.
That comes down to the product line. The product line's
absolutely.
TDS. And if they say that window is open for 2 hours, then you have 2 hours to put your high build on.
Yep.
And again, here we go back to this TDS and using your product like epoxy. 1,000,000% should never be sprayed below 70. That's panel temp, not room temp.
Not room. Yeah, that's what I'm about
panel
to say.
temp.
Like,
that needs to stay 70 for several days. Not just while you spray it and it cures. Epoxy doesn't cure it. Epoxy has a very long curing. We're talking weeks. So that's my take again.
Yes, it definitely needs time to cure. And that's what the Shed King talks about with 2K primer. Okay. Yes, if you're gonna let it cure at a low temperature, sitting in a garage, okay, at 50, 60 degrees, and absolutely it's gonna need time to cure up. Okay. So if you're taking that, I have a Revo. Okay. So I have a shortwave infrared light that I cure all my primer with before I go put paint on it. And I've noticed a huge difference. There's no more shrink back. Well, it's not even shrink. It's swell. It's whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I've noticed a huge difference if I'm bringing that primer up to 180 for, depending on how long, what the temperature is inside, all that. If I do it and I cure it with that light, okay, and that's shortwave infrared, which means that it's heating the panel from the inside out. Okay, so it's heating that metal up beyond it, and it's bringing everything up to surface. So it's heating that filler, it's heating that primer. And if you do that, that's why I like these shortwave infrared. Usually you don't have a problem with shrinkage. And lacquer primer, that was the cool thing about lacquer primer, is that once it's dry, it's kind of dry. And I understand where he's coming from with that. But you got to look at it as it's literally 2025, guy.
Yep. Lacquer primer was good in the 70s, 80s.
And he's 90s. Looking at it as if, it's a quick turnaround. Because I heard in a video recently that they try to do 5 to 6 cars a week.
Well, they need to freaking turn a profit to pay that RTO bill.
Yeah, man. They make their $100 for the week.
I mean, like I said, even if you're using,
I would really like to see how much profit that they actually turn in a month. Let's say a month, because a week is too short. But
I mean, I just know what I can turn, and I'm not doing. I mean, you're doing 5 or 6 cars a week. I mean, that's 30 cars a month. I mean, that should be some decent money if you're buying the materials freaking right. But how the hell are you making like any money at $500 or $600?
Well, I do know this just by the time that I was unblocked, that and I really wish that he would come on and clarify this, but he told me and several people in his videos that a gallon of color typically lasts him minimum of 2 cars, maybe 3.
How do you know if the same dude's gonna want the same color? Like,
I assume that he goes to his jobber and picks out like black, for instance, and he may use black on several vehicles. And that's why, if you think about it, what's his wait time? 4 weeks right now, just 3 to 4 weeks. So I don't ask me how I know. 3 to 4 weeks. So what he'll do is he'll group those color of cars in that week frame where he can use that 1 can of color.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what you guys, if you're doing a full all over, I mean, how much paint? I mean, if you're spotting color in and stuff like that, you could get away with using a quart and a half of paint. Because
Right.
reduced, it's going to be almost 3 quarts sprayable. Okay. But how much, like, how far are you stretching your materials to do that many cars with a gallon of paint?
That's what I want to know.
Like,
Because I like that
That's
Bronco I
literally
just
you
sprayed.
spray
That
2 coats on
Bronco
everything.
was red, and now my Sherwin base covers really, really well, but I still put 3 coats of red on it, and that's a big vehicle, and that was like a gallon and a half of base.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I do a lot of Mustangs, as you guys see.
Yep.
And if I'm doing a color change on a Mustang or even just the outside, it's still the way we break the cars down and have all the parts separated. It's 2 to 3 coats minimum, depending on the color and how it's covering. And I'm still using a gallon to a gallon and a half of color for the same color car, not even doing a color change.
No, but
So,
there's your problem, Mike. There's your problem. You're taking parts off.
Yeah.
okay, here,
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to I'm going to say this now. The parts thing. I don't know if you guys seen it on Instagram, but there's a dude down in like Vegas or something that does the spray wraps, and now he's doing $10,000 paint jobs, and the cars look like the Shed Kings. Nothing's taken apart, and I've done I've tried to do the vinyl wraps before the sprayable stuff, and it's just not for me. I don't like it. I don't like how it sprays out.
Yeah,
None of
no,
that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I did learn one thing from that shit. If the edge isn't rolled and covered, it peels just
It
like
does.
paint.
It
So
does.
when you don't take shit apart, you're not getting the edges. You're not like
Right.
shit's gonna just pull off.
But
I
you know,
mean-
let's bring up this kit that they sell.
Well,
So
the shed. How is the kit? The kit's more freaking expensive than him doing
yeah,
the car.
you're right. But let's bring up the kit. And there's a reason. There's an algorithm to why I'm saying this.
Okay.
So the kit comes with tape. It comes with a couple different 180 and 320. Huh?
80 and 320.
Okay.
You left
Yeah,
that
no
one.
And
180.
paper.
No 180.
And then it comes with no paper. Oh.
No tape.
And it
A roll
comes
tape.
with your base coat and your clear coat. But where's the gray or the maroon scuff pad to get those edges with?
There's a lot of stuff missing in that kit.
Yeah.
Where is your sealer? Where would be your primer? Oh, that's extra. That's right. They don't sell primer.
They don't use that stuff.
I mean, there's so much from that kit that's missing that, you know, if he's going to sell a kit, it needs to be a piece of paper in there saying, hey, here's your first 5 items. Here's the other 20 you need.
Yep.
Because
I mean-
it's 100% misleading. And what it's doing is it's giving everybody the wrong impression.
Wipes his ass.
He doesn't give. Now, I will say, I used to spray a lot of single stage back in the early 90s. And
Never
yeah,
sprayed
we would do that single stage at sometimes 280, 320, and would spray single stage on it.
Yeah.
But, you know, single stage is thick as
Thicker.
molasses. But, you know, and that's enamel.
I've sprayed it one time, and that was on a 72 Pantera. And the guy absolutely insisted on it being single stage because that's what was on the car when it came out. And I hated it. I completely hated it.
I sprayed a lot of Delfleet, which was PPG's single stage. They still make it. It's nice.
Yeah, but that's urethane. That's different.
Well, yeah, right.
Enamel is like
it would never dry.
It's like spraying straight Lowe's or Home Depot latex.
Yeah.
Versus your reduced.
I've sprayed some other stuff like that too. Yeah, Omni makes
it's like bed liner,
right?
But so anyway, okay, we keep divesting back, going back to the Shed King and let's talk about, and I'm taking over your podcast. I'm sorry.
You're all good, dude. This is what this
Hey,
is about.
Let's talk about
run with
his,
it.
let's talk about his ways of prepping, because
Lack of.
what we'll get there. Let's talk about his prepping and what he's pushing out to his audience. So he's using a Harbor Freight DA sander. That's not a problem. Harbor Freight makes okay stuff. I'll give him
Sure.
that.
Some stuff.
But now he's using the sticky back. Sticky back for the restoration world, 2 thumbs up. But you can't go in and grind that clear coat that is, flaking off with a 180 and then get ready to spray base coat over it.
Right.
I laugh every time I see him prepping some shit. I really do.
So
me too.
So let's ask New Edge, if that car came to you and
What, the Terminator?
wanted you to paint their hood, what would be your steps for prepping that hood out? That's got the clear is flaking off and the base coat is faded through to whatever. What would be your steps for starting to prep that out?
My first, if it was the fiberglass hood that he was doing on that Terminator, it would be 180 the whole hood down, get everything off the entire hood, 320 it, prime it. I mean, then we build it up from there. I mean,
so once you get it down to fiberglass,
I wouldn't even try to take it all the way down to the glass because I don't want to dig gouges into it. Like,
right.
I just want to knock off the shit that's not good. Like, I'm taking off all the clear down to the base to where I know it's not going to pull up and cause me any issues on something like that. And then start high building, put some primer on it and block it out 2 or 3 more times.
Now, you brought up high build. So we're not looking for brand specific. So on your urethane high build, once you spray your high build on there, how long do you specifically wait before you sand that high build out?
May 2 to 3 days.
Okay. And now is that
just because of the shrinkage?
Is that what is that like 2 coats? High build, 3 coats?
2 to 3, depending on what we're doing.
Gotcha. So even in the urethane high build world, depending on the brand, some of that stuff can shrink up to 14 days.
Yep,
sure can.
But that depends on your brand. Like, I have swapped all of my high build over to 4CR from 4CR USA. That stuff, just like Mike, in 4 days, 3 days, I can block it with no further shrinkage. That stuff gets rock hard, but sands like butter. And it's cheap. And it's made in Germany. They've got a really good product. I'm not promoting any brands. I apologize for bringing up a brand, but that is really, really good stuff. I'm not being paid to say that, by the way.
Shit.
That's all right, man. We all got the things that we like. We ran into that with like the last podcast episode I did. I can't really say what paint company it was. It's fine. But it's okay to compare what we like to use, man. And there's no reason why we can't do that. There's no reason why we can't do that.
I just don't want anything to happen to your channel over it. But no, like most of my vehicles that I bring in, we strip down. I carry it to the blaster or to the dipper, and we carry it all the way down to metal. And that's what I do for my restoration projects. Now, on like my performance jobs, of course, if it's a performance job, I'm not doing any paint work to it. But like the one we got in now that I have an NDA for, that I can't speak who owns it because it's a pretty well-known person, if I may say. I can't even put it on social media. I'm creating a long-form content video of bringing the car in, tearing it down, and then once the car leaves, then I can post and edit the video.
I got one of those right now too. Like, you're allowed to see bits and pieces of it, but I can't show you the actual car.
Oh yeah, I kind of got in trouble. I accidentally posted a short, and the car, just the front of the metal was showing on the firewall, and
Yeah.
this dude flipped out. His attorney contacted me. I mean, it was,
Whoa.
oh yeah,
Uh,
that NDA was way stricter than what I thought.
like mine's not that strict, but he just asked me point blank because the car was involved with CJ Pony parts and all that neat stuff, and it's debuting back out at Ponies in the Smokies, and they don't want it. It's going to be in a specific booth, and they don't want the car being seen. And I'm like, all right, so
Yeah, I
it's
get it.
not.
I mean, I've got the two Mustangs I have in there, which I can talk about, are two very large executives,
That's cool.
with a very known rental company, and I love it. And but the one I can't even speak about. I can't tell you what model car it is, because if they found this, yeah, I would be, yeah. But anyway, go ahead, Murder. Finish. We keep divesting.
No, it's all good. Like I said, this is what this is about. It's about all us having a conversation. You know what I mean? Don't think of me as being the host. Think of me like all of us having just a conversation. That's what this is about, guys. I don't want me running it and just making it sound like it's just me asking you guys questions, because this is what it's about. I mean, it really is. But honestly, guys, what do you think about the $200 more for red?
I would say needs to be more.
And that's what I was
Right.
about to say.
I mean, what if it's a Ford Econoline? You know, can you really do $200 more for red? I couldn't. Mine would be
I
$2,000
with that whole
more.
setup.
Yeah.
So, and then yeah, depending on the shade of red or color, like whatever it is, I mean, $200 might not cover the cost of that red. So
I mean,
Right.
I had a Cadillac in my shop that was a '69 Cadillac two-door Coupe de Ville convertible, a half gallon of PPG Deltron, half gallon
thousand.
was, what was it? Was it well, I know a full gallon was like $2,500.
Yep,
So that would put it at 1,250
$1,250.
bucks. And I posted all of that on TikTok and all my socials for the half gallon of red. It's called Jitterbug Red. It's a PPG Pacific and only color. Only way I could do it anyway else would be a tri-coat, and it still was nowhere near it. And that and a gallon of reducer was like 1,200 or 1,300 bucks. There'd be no way that I could do red at $200 more. But again, that's my mixing bank. You know, I get a discount on my mixing bank. But still, no, not me.
Yeah. So a gallon of Scarlet Red, which is like a super main toner. I'm sure it's probably in Sherwin or whatever too. Gallon of Charlotte Red toner. My guy was telling me, he's like, you don't want a gallon of that. Like, there's no reason for it. He says, like, if you did need that, like, okay, cool. But like most of the time, like, you're not going to need a gallon of the main red. So he said that costs like $1,500 in the NXT, and that's crazy for a toner. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've just bought another gallon of black toner on my Sherwin bank. It was $908.
Whoa.
Yeah. But now again, the Sherwin toners are super duper concentrated. I mixed for this frame that I'm about to post on TikTok and all the other socials that I painted. Yeah, I mixed up 25 ounces, and we had literally like 18 ounces of binder. And I want to say it was like 52 grams of the black toner. It's like super rich and super dark. And the GM color was WA855, which is a standard GM black.
Standard GMT. Yeah, I'm about to say
And that's a pretty
everything.
black. And it only used very, very little of that black toner. So that toner lasted me a very long time.
Wow.
It's just so concentrated. So the reds like Scarlet Red and Burnt Red, and some of the other toners it has, they're half quarts, and they literally run me $600-700 for half a quart of toner.
Wow. What are you using for paint New Edge?
Me, honest to God, I have a mixing bank, and it's been empty for a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's easier and it's more cost effective for me just to go down to the paint supply house and tell them what I need and let them mix it up. To be completely honest with you,
So
Yeah,
what
that's
brand are you getting from them? Do you have a brand that they
PPG,
PPG?
PPG.
Is it like
And
Shopline Plus?
Depending on what the job is, we'll go. I won't go anything less than Shopline Plus. But I mean,
Do you guys have Omni down there at all still?
yeah,
I know they're trying to phase Omni out.
Yeah, we can still get Omni here.
we can.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. I actually just sprayed their 2K primer on some cheap shit that we did a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's like the
out of shop.
MP 820 or something. It's really
Something
good.
like that.
That number's probably wrong, but
I had a quart left sitting over there, and I was like, "Yeah, we'll just do it," because they were closed or some shit, and they had a death in the family, and they closed the store down for the funeral, and I needed primer, and I was sitting on the shelf.
Y'all
Like,
know
this'll
all
work.
primer and all base coats are the same.
Exactly.
What are we
Yeah.
having this discussion about?
the
Jeez.
JB202
All
shop line
reducers
primer.
are the same.
I
You
use
don't need
that
any.
every day.
You don't need any different temperature
Right.
reducers.
But for this podcast, I actually reached out to a couple of companies here local during the week because I knew this was going to happen. I was working on building out a good production for his for Murder the Finishes podcast, and I reached out to a couple of companies, and one of them is a TransStar jobber.
Mhm.
And I used to spray a lot of TransStar. So I reached out to him about, because he also has other brands that he sells for some of these Shed Kings. They're smaller shops, if you may want to call them that, or DIY
Backyard hacks.
turned,
Yeah.
the biggest professionals in the world. And he says a lot of these places
Future cancer patients.
uses like your high-tech base coat, like your I'm having a brain fart. These different companies have these color packs that they
the
sell.
factory packs.
Here you go. I went
Factory
brain fart.
packs. The high-tech factory packs.
But he says
$100 a gallon.
he sells a lot of that, and they'll go out to these other particular companies and add, a little bit of different color to it to make it darker, or they'll add some dry pearls to it to make it look chameleon or flaked out. So I expect that the Shed King is probably using for his base coat Kirker. That's the cheapest brand base coat on the market that I have found. And
Probably.
I've used Kirker before, and Kirker makes all of the base coat and primers for Summit and Eastwood.
Okay.
So
I've used the Kirker Hot Rod Black, but oh shit.
Kirker makes decent stuff. I don't know, the longevity of it, but I mean, I've sprayed their single stage quite a bit.
Yeah.
But so he's probably using a cheaper pack, or that I can come up with price wise. It's got to be a Kirker brand, because Kirker base coat is extremely cheap.
Well, I know he's not using Autobahn now.
Oh no, definitely not.
Nope. They're on his shit list.
Yeah, what has he got? He's got Rust-Oleum, $200 more.
Dude,
Now-
he's going to Tractor Supply and getting that roll-on tractor paint.
Now, let's say that there's several YouTube channels right now that are spraying Rust-Oleum. They buy the
Sure.
gallon and put the activator on it. they're spraying the Rust-Oleum and then putting a 2K clear on top of it.
Sure.
Now,
Yeah.
and they turn out and look really, really good. I still would not even put that past him.
I didn't even think about that.
But I mean,
Maybe.
you know, I saw this TikTok account that popped up. That's some painter master or something that's holding some Rust-Oleum cans. That is some funny crap. Have you seen that? Huh?
You talking about that Mr. Master painter?
Yeah, that is some funny crap.
I'm trying to figure out who the hell it is. I thought it was you first, man.
Who? Murder the Finish?
Yeah.
I still think it's him. I still think it's him.
Not me.
We saw that spray paint. We saw the spray paint in your garage, bro.
Yeah, I know, but it's not, dude.
I did see the latest video with him getting mad at people complaining about his Rust-Oleum and went out and bought some Color Max.
Yeah.
It's got the built-in paint, primer, and high gloss.
Exactly.
Yeah, really. My God. Yeah, like the hammered or whatever, right? That's
God, funny. That was hysterical. Oh, my Jesus. That was hysterical.
I don't know who that is. It's probably JP.
It's probably his wife making fun of him.
Yeah, really. His daughter? I mean, his sister? His aunt? I mean, I'm sorry.
His daughter wife.
Who started that? Somebody started.
We can't say that right now.
Yeah,
but
who started the daughter wife? Invite Mr. Master Painter to the podcast one night.
He's gonna be like the marshmallow guy with the helmet on, so nobody can see who he is.
Yeah, really.
That would be funny. Watch him be watching this and take your idea.
Oh, I'll be
really, probably.
Get a copyright strike for being the mushroom melon guy, singer, whatever he is.
He's gonna friggin' have the instead of the marshmallow head on, he's gonna have a paint can. Paint can with
guys,
paint line,
huh?
What's
minimalist paint? Minimalist
paint? Yeah,
minimus.
Have you seen it? Hey, have y'all seen his paint chips that he's making? He's using reducer cans.
Reducer cans. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how hard it is to get a spray out card, but I mean, damn, you have that many empty reducer cans lying around, and you're not throwing them away. I mean, come on now.
I mean, you're already huffing paint and lacquer primer. You know, why not just go ahead and use reducer?
Dude, he commented on one of my videos when I was in a paint suit. He's like, man, you look like a sperm. I'm like, I don't want to die. Like, just because it's not going to my lungs, that shit still gets into your, like, it can get absorbed into your skin.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be right back. And then we're going to talk about some PPE, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta let my dog
So why he's gone? When I started,
he's going to pee again. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. No, I gotta let my dog out. Just don't handle it more than twice. Anyway, I started back talking with the Shed King back when he was at his other shop. And back then, if you go back and look at some of his old videos, we're talking 2023, he was wearing a mask on and off. But that stuff has isocyanates in it. And, you know, I've got 2 kids. I don't plan on having any more, but in case, I don't want them to have an arm for a leg and a leg for an arm.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not the perfect person for PPE by no means, because I've gotten more metal in my eyes than anything. But I mean, if I'm spraying, I'm wearing a mask. I really don't feel like dying. And
I've got a VersaFlow, and I'm the world's worst at putting that thing on. I spent thousands of dollars on it, but the mask is like super quick, easy,
and it's there. Like,
but I'm always hitting my eyes with spray and clear.
It's like, do I always wear a shoot suit? No, I don't, but I should.
No, I do. I do at least wear something to cover up my arms, but sometimes I spray with shorts on.
Yeah.
and I regret that.
Yeah.
Going home, taking a shower, and that clear sticking to my legs.
Sticking to everything. Exactly.
So let's talk about spray guns while he stepped away.
All
Now,
right.
I become a diva when it comes to my spray guns.
So am I.
So, and I do plan on making another follow-up video. I have sold probably about 6 or 7 of my spray guns just because I don't have room for them. I think I've got 15 now.
Damn.
I was sponsored by Segola for a while.
I want to
and
try one of those.
Man, they're good. But I'm gonna tell you right now, my jam right now is the Luma 3 Exodus.
Sorry, I had to let the dogs out, man.
oh, you had to get the Which way is your hat?
Let the
To the
dogs
right
out,
or the
man.
left? Because I'll have to go like
I
that.
don't know.
Then.
David
Mine's just
Fernandez
falling out
says
of my head. I don't know about you.
the She Shed King is only qualified too much for trash can Republic services.
Oh, he's got the JP dance. Oh, can't say that name. I'm sorry.
Oh man, the Shed King dance, man.
So I was talking to New Edge about spray guns. Now, I was telling him I'm a diva when it comes to spray guns. I was sponsored by Segola for a little while, and I got in on their debut on the new Segola 4600s, and I bought a bunch of Segolas, but I've got some Segolas gave to me as well. Just for helping promote them. And I'm a small channel. I've got 5,000 on Instagram, and I think I got 17,000 on. I'm sorry, 5,000 something on TikTok, and 16 or 17,000 something on Instagram. And
Instagram, where it's at though. That's where I see all sponsored painters. Instagram.
Oh. Yeah, I can't build my audience on Instagram.
I had one video that went viral that got like 40 million views on. That's where all my followers came from.
Damn.
Wow.
It's still on there if y'all go look it up.
I'll go look at that. Shit, my most viral video is me calling JP a punk.
But that video was not paint related. It was where a dad came out of the woods with a Bigfoot suit on, chasing after his kids. It literally, last time I looked, it was at 44 million views, and it had got me over 20,000 subscribers, which I've lost some. And that was not even paint related, but they're still sticking around.
Hey, however you can get them. I mean, shit.
But so, I use my Segolas quite a bit. The Harbor Freight guns, we'll bring up that topic because that seems to be a big topic with the Shed King. Yeah.
Man, and I want to try the drizzle.
I got one, man. If you go on their TikTok, they'll send you one for free.
Really?
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I've seen it all over, and I don't know what you're talking about.
All it is the A610, man.
Yeah,
that's all it is. But the Harbor Freight has their Harbor Freight
Black Widows,
the purple, the green, and then they have the Spectrum line. I have a purple gun, and I know Murder the Finish has a purple gun.
So do I.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I've never in my entire life used it.
I used it to spray primer once. So
it's too heavy for me. Like I said, I'm a diva when it comes to my spray guns, but I've never sprayed with it. But now let's go to the Spectrum line of the Harbor Freight. I have every single Spectrum gun that they have. And the Black Widow version 1 and version 2 are phenomenal guns. They're slow. They're like your DV1s or your TE20 Aircat DeVilbises. They're slow, but they spray really good.
I'm a SATA guy.
I use my SATA RP5500X every single day for base coat, but I would literally go out of my way to use my DV1 base coat gun to use spray sealer, and I love it for clear. I will literally clean my gun and then go back and spray clear with it. Every single job. I love the SATA 2 for clear, but it does not atomize as tight as that DV1 base coat gun.
Well, I don't know what it is. Like my clear gun's the SATA Phaser 5500 with the X. and then my base coat is the 5,000 with the O tip.
Yeah,
So
great
with the
spray guns too.
1.3,
I've used those.
See, I wish you guys were local where you could come over here and try. I literally have every gun but a SATA. I had a 5,000 or 5,500 that I could not get it to stop leaking. And my rep could not get it to stop leaking. I sold it. I have not had one since.
Was it leaking at the air cap?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
My
rebuilt
favorite.
that gun. It was a brand new gun. They rebuilt it and still
When
cannot get it.
when I got my new phaser, it was doing that, and I had to change out the O-ring and the air cap like 3 or 4 times to get it to seal.
Yeah, I mean, it was at the point where the SATA guy was like, let's just send you another one. I said, let's not and say we did. Either give
And
me
just
my
refund
money
my
back
ass.
or I'll just sell it. I wound up selling it, losing a couple hundred on it, but that was my best interest.
The other than the SATAs, I like the Iwata Supernova and the LPH 400s are pretty
The
decent.
LPH 400s are phenomenal guns too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I went Iwata. I became a huge Iwata guy, and I was straight Iwata. I mean, I had like 10 different Iwatas, and all of a sudden, that's when I won a Segola on Instagram, a 4600 La Katrina, and after I tried that gun, I was hook, line, and sinker on Segola.
Now,
That
do
Have
you
you
guys
guys used
airbrush at all?
Wallcoms at all?
What's that?
Have you used
Do
the
you guys-
Wallcoms at all?
Yeah, I just sold one. Yeah, I had a Carbonaro 360.
They're pretty good too.
Was it a Genesis Carbonaro 3, whatever their weird naming convention is, but it was only the clear, not the base.
I learned on the old Millennium DeVilbiss guns, so that's why I stick to DeVilbiss. I just like the way they spray. I don't know, super consistent for me. That's why.
But back to the Harbor Freight Purple.
Yeah.
Again, I have never shot it. It was way too heavy for me, and I
Now,
know
you
some
know
of the.
you can't be knocking the Harbor Freight Purple. You know that's the bad Chad freaking go to.
Oh, that's why I'm bringing it up,
Doesn't he use the red ones?
huh?
Doesn't Bad Chad use the red ones? So I'm looking at comments.
In school, I like the DV. I like the DV one, but the purple, I see the Shed Queen using it, and I just don't know how well it atomizes. And I'm asking you guys because
I've sprayed
never shot
sprayed with it. I've sprayed primer with it, and that's all I've ever sprayed with it.
Same.
And for just a quick gun to, if it clogs, throw it away for $16. It doesn't hurt nothing. It's not
You know
a
what?
bad
You know
gun.
what happened to mine? You know what happened to my purple?
Huh.
Dude, the first time I sprayed with it, all of the freaking coating on the inside all came
Inside
out.
the cup.
all over my driver.
I got a better one for you. I was cleaning that shit out, and I had a little bit of lacquer left in the cup, and I don't know what happened to the air. Something got stuck in it somewhere, and it backfed, and it blew the top off in my face.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was a little bitch then. I was screaming with that stuff in my eyes.
Oh, I'd be upset.
But so the purple to me, I don't know. It may be a good all around gun. It's got that what the first gen SATA look is what it is, right?
Yeah, it looks like the Jet 100.
Now, yeah, PD Customs. Those, I still have a Kwame 4. Those are a great all around gun. But I still say the better all around cheap gun is the Black Widow, especially when they are on sale.
$89.99. And I've never sprayed with one. I actually got the Black Widow airbrush. My wife got it for me for Christmas.
Yep.
Because I got the Iwata daggers. That's because I do a lot of airbrush work. So I saw that one and I wanted to try it. She's like, "I'll get it for you," and she got it. And I haven't done a damn thing with it.
The
So
top
obviously-
is falling out.
Obviously,
Yeah.
we know JP doesn't wear any PPE. I use my VersaFlow. I heard you guys talking about that when I was walking back in.
That
How
is
is this
not
guy still
good.
alive? How is this guy still alive?
Those
Can you, I,
ISO
could not
cyanate.
even imagine. I built a tolerance a little bit, intolerance to the isocyanates in paint just from 10 years of spraying. I cannot be around it. I cannot spray without a mask anymore.
Nope.
I can't do it.
Nope.
I don't know about you guys, but it makes me sick, physically ill. Like, how does he do it?
I'm not even
maybe
gonna
his
sit there
nose
and
hairs
say I
is
can
real
do it
thick.
anymore. Like, just even spraying like the Raptor bed liners and shit. Like, I can't. I have to have a mask on, and there's no overspray from that shit. It's just the smell is, ugh.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
but
I just don't know how he does it. Just sometimes your mask leaks and you
like
get that little whiff of it, and man, that literally knocks me back.
like he
It's
says in his videos, he's a man and we're peons and we don't know nothing.
well,
Right.
we're not masters is clearly the
As he
problem.
puts it, yep. We
Right.
can't. Our lungs aren't made of iron.
And I'm
So
glad mine's not made of iron.
yeah.
I'd rather be, prissy, whatever I need to be to protect myself and my kids.
Yeah, I don't want to be freaking like you said earlier. Your freaking arm comes out as a foot and a nose comes out on your ear or something.
I mean,
So
if you go and look at what isocyanate does to your lungs and your brain, I
Yep.
encourage everybody to go just look that up, what it can do to you.
that
Yep.
explains JP then.
But
The
that
Shed
but
King-
that
It
if
does.
you,
It does, kind of.
it causes brain damage, and it also within that brain damage can cause erratic behavior changes.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
we just solved the Shed King's problem. He is not going through dementia. He's been huffing paint too many years.
I have a list here of everything I wanted to cover, and I think this is why he started getting so arrogant and
Yep.
pissy. And it's becoming more. It's like he's going through menopause or something. Because I mean,
Menopause.
he's getting very arrogant and very pissy at everything. You can say, "What a great paint job that looks like." Oh, your
And he'll walk
mama's over there flipping off the toilet and eating bonbons.
Yeah,
Like-
exactly.
Like my whole issues with him, it all started because I asked a question.
Me
That's
too.
it.
Me too, dude.
One question, and it went freaking ape shit.
I
Yep.
used to bash him in his lives back when we chatted. I'd say, "Look at that bald bastard sitting over there. Is he going to ever brush his hair?" And he would just die laughing. Then, like I said, one day I'm blocked. Everybody loved it, but all of a sudden I got blocked for no reason, which is fine with me. I'm not losing any sleep over it. This
I was fine with it, him bashing me until he brought my wife and kids into it, and that's when it got personal.
Well, then that tells you right there, Mike, that you are getting under his skin.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know that.
Absolutely.
I mean, like
when you get under somebody's skin, they become defensive. And don't get mad at me, Mike. I promise I'm not coming at you, but you rebelling and going back at him is tearing
is what he
him up
wants.
and you up.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing, and I know I was asking for it by saying some of the stuff I did, like the daughter wife and all that, and dressing one of my guys up in a wig. And I mean, I get that. I freaking
But that's what social media is. It's content.
Right.
yeah, it's all it's supposed to be.
But the
For.
whole
It's supposed to
thing
be
of it
fun.
is we can't let it get to us, because in the social media world, that's giving him publicity.
Yep.
Even
And
this
what
right
is
now,
what
what
is
we're doing
what does
right
that
now,
do? What's that?
even what we're doing right now is giving him publicity and clout.
Yeah. But
Absolutely.
what we need to do is, from today, we need to focus on our business.
That's right.
We need to focus on our jobs and not post anything else about him,
Well,
and put our effort into our business to make it better. Because I watched some of the videos, and yeah, it kind of teased me off. My name is not mentioned, but I guarantee you after today it will be. But
he doesn't have. He's not smart enough to use YouTube.
Just remember, I'm Murder the Finch, guys.
Murder the
You guys see
Finch.
that?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to do any more videos about so-called Shed King, but there is something else that's coming up with me, and there's going to be two or three more videos, but it's not going to be what you think. So
Well, just
But
make sure that you focus on your business and don't
oh
let
yeah,
And be
him
smart
bring
about
you
stuff.
down.
Yeah. Be smart
oh
about
well,
the stuff.
believe me,
After
like
tonight,
I know. I mean, he's sitting there going, "Whoa, damn, this little punk ass kid," and he thinks I'm a young kid because the way I am, the way I dress, the way I act, and I'm okay with that. But I mean, I'm 42 years old and I've been doing this shit a long time, and I know how to push buttons just like he does. And I pushed all the right buttons on that dude to where now every one of his videos that's pinned on his accounts are all about me.
But then
So,
then he brings up trivial stuff from the past
yep.
and
what makes me
trivial
mad.
stuff. And I was talking to Murder the Finish earlier about this actually on the phone. And I was saying,
Yeah.
no matter what your past is, the past is your past.
Yep.
If you've became a better person, whether you went to jail for something or not,
Yep.
if you come out a better person and you have moved on and realized that you're doing better for you and your family, the past is a past.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has one, and I don't let my past define my future.
That's
And
great. I have no past. I'm fresh and clean. Not to,
yeah,
not
Yeah,
to
same
brag,
here.
not to
But
brag, because I've got some of my friends, and I was telling Murder the Finish earlier. I've got some of my friends that had a very rough teenage years.
well, the funny part about it is, like I said, if you Google my name, I don't have any. There's nothing on my. I got speeding tickets and a bunch of assault charges because I like to fight. Um, Other than that, there's nothing hit my record. That's the funny part about the whole situation. And I knew when all that shit went down with the cars, I'm not a snitch. Plain and simple. I'm not. I'm not gonna roll on somebody just because I'll deal with what I got to deal with, and that's just how I was raised and how I am. And I kept my mouth shut. He says I didn't, but I was a
and,
minor
and,
when it
and
all
it's
went down.
okay. New Edge, we're not asking you to explain yourself, honestly. This just comes down to, the Shed King has no business bringing up the past from freaking 15 whatever years ago
Yep.
on somebody that literally he looks like a toucher himself and
It looks like
literally
it looks
has
like a
a
homeless
daughter,
man.
wife.
It looks like a homeless man begging for food.
Dude,
Yeah, really.
if you
And
watch
you
some
can
of his
definitely tell he's
videos,
a freaking Democrat. Like, let's go there. Like, I'm
I'm
not.
gonna I'm gonna tell you right now. You watch some of his videos, and you'll tell. Not only is his shed an RTO, but I can guarantee you there's wheels under his house.
Well, we
I'm sure.
know that he definitely mobilizes and considers
Moves.
himself an RVist.
Yeah.
So, we've seen the videos of his mobile RV that he stays in.
Yeah.
It's very evident that he is, homesteading in an RV of some sort or camper,
Yeah.
whatever it may be.
Calls everybody else a fly by night, and look what he does.
I
Well,
mean,
Got no ground to stand on.
he's saying that he's going to build, he bought some land that he can't be kicked out of. And he's saying that he's building a shop. Well, whether he is or not, do we know? But do we care? No, we really don't.
No,
I,
and that's just it. Like, exactly. Go ahead, New Edge.
no, my wife was asking me if she had to stop making fun of him. So I was like, no, you can continue making fun of him. But no, dude, it's like I got a 10,000 square foot facility, and I know for a fact that he's sitting over there looking at me, murder the finish, oops, all that, and it's like, well, damn, why don't I have that?
Exactly.
Why doesn't he have that? Because he freaking underrates his time and his value. And if he's such a badass painter as he quotes himself, he would freaking recognize what his time is worth and charge for that time.
And what it is he got ran out of every place of business he ever worked at. That's
Yeah.
what it is. That's why he has nothing. That's why nobody trusts his work. It's because he got
Well,
ran out of every single place he's ever worked at. Exactly. You can't tell me any different.
What'd you say? It flashed out.
I'm saying he literally has got ran out of every single place he's ever worked at.
Oh yeah, and he probably freaking was the manager, and they still ran him out.
So
So
that makes you wonder, how does he keep up with his jobs? How is he tracking his jobs to bill out even his customers?
well,
I
mean,
use a custom software that I built.
He don't.
me,
He's
I
saying,
got hours.
"Give me the cash." That's
So
how he does it.
so that brings up a question, Mike. Do you bill by the hour for your jobs, or you bill by the job?
Mine is like restoration work is by the hour.
Now, do you have a flat shop rate that you bill by?
Yeah. Yep. It's $100 an hour.
I need to raise my rate.
$100 an hour. And then
I'm
any
95
type of
right now,
any
but that's
airbrush
going up.
work or any custom graphics or anything like that, it's $150 an hour for me to airbrush.
Dang, we're at 64 up here. What the hell am I doing wrong?
So
But you're in collision, bro. Shut up.
And
yeah, you're dictated by Geico and that freaking little gecko thing. They tell you
Yeah.
how much you can charge.
our best one is Erie State Farm. But other than that, yeah, it's all garbage.
Yeah. I had one. I did that GTO that I'm doing right now. It's a Haggerty, and I put my normal rates on the freaking invoices and sent the estimate in. And they're like, "We have to change your hourly rate." I'm like, "But that's what I charge." They're like, "Well, we can't pay that." I'm like, "Well, what are you gonna pay?" And they're like, 65. I'm like, that sucks, but okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you
Hard to
use
go
the
to.
software, Mike, to track your hours on jobs, or
Yeah,
what do you use for your time tracking and billing?
we actually use Mitchell on demand.
I was gonna
Okay.
say Mitchell is usually the best.
Yep.
We
I've
use
looked at
CCC.
that, and like I said, I'm a nerd, so I hand built and programmed all mine in PHP and MySQL to track time for projects and then project task, and it works great. The only thing I'm missing is just like being able to integrate some of that in with my mixing system. I'm trying to get the Sherwin API to link over. Anyway, I digress. So, okay, does the Mitchell allow you to do billing out of it too, or is
Yeah.
it just
We can do all the invoicing and all that right from that.
and like your quotes and stuff? You do your quotes and all that too. So
Everything's like it's directly you put in their email, the customer's email, and everything gets sent right to them.
so I can only assume that the Shed Queen is using pen and paper. Is where I was trying to go with this.
I wouldn't even say he's using pen and paper. I mean, he's drop your car off, hand him the keys, hand him money, and come back 2 days later to a mess.
Pretty much. And cash, guys, cash.
Hey,
Yeah.
I prefer cash.
Hey,
I'm not
cash
I
gonna-
is
mean, you hand me cash, I'm not going to turn it down. But I mean, I've had somebody come in there like, "Yo, can I do half cash, half Zelle, half this, half like
Right.
Apple Pay?" I'm like, okay. And I mean, the funny thing is when you tell them, "Yeah, I can accept that," and they're like, "All right," and then they realize it's a business account and that there's fees, and they're ending up paying more fees for that. It's like, sorry, buddy, I ain't eating that shit.
Well, also watch out. New Edge is now with your Cash App, your Zelle, your Zillow, whatever else. Now you're going to be double taxed. You're going to be taxed from the income, and then you're going to be taxed from that particular Cash App, Zelle. What they're going to send you a tax form.
1099. They sent Cash App sent me a 1099 for how much money that got ran through the business's Cash App.
Yeah. So now you're double
I was like,
taxed on that money.
fuck. So
yeah. So now you need to somehow maybe work with your accountant to get that figured out. But yeah, take that Cash App out, man.
yeah.
Because otherwise you gotta
even credit cards though. Like when we use the processor,
I was just gonna ask.
they're still hitting me for stupid freaking fees. So sometimes it's honestly cheaper to buy. Yo, just go get cash, and I won't charge you tax. So
that's right. No, we charge a percentage for every credit card.
If I run your card, I'm charging you 7%. So
yep, I think we do 6. So
But
Wow.
see, this is how
We have
actual
to.
businesses work.
We have to.
Huh? 7%. That's what my machine. When you swipe the card, it charges you automatically 7%.
Have to.
Yeah.
You wouldn't make any money on credit cards transactions
No.
if you didn't. If you had a $5,000 job run through your shop, and that's a lot of money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you didn't charge it.
What about Amex? Amex charges even more.
I
Right.
don't even take them.
But
I won't even take that shit.
But so we're back at the car coming into the Shed Queen's facility. He's taking the money, or he's writing it down some way. He's going through his process.
He's got a whiteboard on the side of his building.
That's cost too much money.
He's got a.
He's just writing it on the side of his shed.
He's got
That's
a.
probably all on record.
Everybody autographs the shed. That's what they do, and then
That's what we.
then
should
he
start
writes the
doing.
amount next to it.
That's what we should start doing. Go buy an RTO shed and freaking drag it around the country and let people sign our shed.
Yeah, really.
Oh my Jesus Christ! Make sure you have the chainsaw that you cut the front door open with.
You saw. I saw that.
No, I know he did that for a fact because he asked me. He said, "Well, how do you think I should do that?" I says, "He's like, I'm gonna use a skill saw." I says, "Get a chainsaw."
God. So you know this guy better than we do.
I know
Yes,
him
he
very
does.
well.
Yes, he does.
Wow.
I know a lot about. I don't know is what brand of paint, because he's plainly told me that one day he'll use this brand, the next day he'll use this, next day he'll find. He literally hunts for the cheapest that he can get.
That's.
Yep.
But dude, even
So are we gonna bring up tropical glitz or no?
motherfucker.
Now let's say something totally off the horn about tropical glitz.
Man,
And I'm not going to
We
say
can't, hold up. What's up, New Edge? Is it
now you do realize how tropical glitz started, right?
no.
okay?
No?
I just want to make sure you didn't have legal problems with it or
No,
something.
no. I can say whatever I need
Okay.
to say about these idiots. Okay. Tropical glitz piggybacked off a House of Color.
Right.
Everything that they're
Rufus
selling
knows all
is
about
just all it is relabeled House of Color. And
Right.
it's a joke.
It used to be House of Color, by the way.
Was it?
It's not now, but it used to be House of Color.
Because I know they're on their website, they're discounting everything that is House of Color that they still have.
Yeah, they're using another brand. Like a lot of these other companies out there are relabeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last time I heard, it is not House of Color anymore. They may be selling it kind of like there's a couple other companies out there that were selling Tamco, and they got busted over reducing and over binding the
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
but
I'm not allowed to say that.
yeah, I'm not getting in that dilemma.
No.
But
Nope,
so
that's a whole other Shed Kings. That's
tropical
episode 5.
glitz.
Yeah.
You know, they had a big legal battle last year, and I'm not going to bring any of that up.
Nope.
I would just go, do your own research. Can mob the finish me off? What?
What?
Can the mob finish me off? He says. This is technically the Finished Mob podcast. I just haven't got that channel up and rolling.
But so like, I know that the Shed Queen gets he says he gets his metallic and pearls from Tropical Glitz. Have you guys went over there and priced out their powder, their metal flake?
It's not expensive.
I thought it was actually pretty expensive.
The stuff that I looked at, I was looking at their silver leaf, and it was like $8.
Oh, I'm not talking about leaf. I was talking about like physical metal flake and dry pearls and stuff.
Oh no, I didn't look at that.
So yeah, that stuff's a little pricey, and I'm wondering how he's able to do a chameleon paint job for $500. Go price out true chameleon powder.
No, he says they're $200 more too. So red and chameleon is $200 more.
But
Because
still,
I
you
know the Harlequin from PPG is like a 16-ounce bottle, and it's just over $1,000.
They don't even make that line anymore. It's just part of their Vibrant series.
Yeah.
Pearls. Yeah.
but
So
that's I mean, yeah, no. I mean,
now, I
but
mean,
also I know that most of his chameleons he
aren't
sprays,
chameleon.
huh?
They're not real chameleon. All it is the flake.
Yeah, it's some
Yeah.
type of plastic. I don't even think he's using the real pearl. There's a company out there called like Candy Pearls or something like that that you can
Paint
get,
with pearls.
huh?
Paint with pearls or something like that.
It's even cheaper than that.
Oh God.
Timu.
Oh
Timu
my
Pearl.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Hey, they built an engine with Timu. JP's man, he's got another platform. He just
Oh geez. It's called Eye Candy. Eye Candy makes a bunch of different type of pearls and flakes.
okay.
And they are the cheapest that I have found so far on any type of pearl. I'm talking like for 25 grams, like $50.
That's retarded.
Go
Like,
check it out. I'm not lying. Like I said, before this podcast, I did so much research trying to make sure I had all my I's dotted and all my T's crossed.
I'm not gonna lie, my I's got crossed and my T's got dotted. I wasn't prepared.
I wasn't either.
I've been working my ass off. I did 3 clutches this
Yeah, me
week
too,
and
dude.
trying to get this Mustang ready for Ponies in the Smokies. So I've been going nuts.
So he's got to be spraying the flake in a clear coat. There's no way he's using inner coat.
Yeah, he's not using an inner coat. He's not using any type of binder because he said it in the Terminator video, the Mustang that he was
Yeah.
cracking on me with. You have to, the flakes were sticking up, so you had to wet sand or DA it back down with 600 and re-clear the car. So
And that's
for
what he did.
for $700, you're doing a custom paint job, wet sanding it with 600 and flow coating it all for $700.
Yeah, he's not wet sanding, boss. I can
Oh,
guarantee
I can
that.
get. He was DAing it. He had a friggin' 600 pad with an interface and went to town. I saw that video. So
Yep.
But he actually bought an interface pad.
it looked. It was either an interface pad or one of those SunTech squishy pads.
I thought it was a maxi pad.
Oh, with wings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got to have the sticky back.
Exactly. But
So he's got that, but he tapes everything. He
Dude.
doesn't pull off parts.
the,
And we were discussing that earlier about how are you really and truly going to be able to get enough base coat and clear coat behind a headlight or even underneath a rubber for a door so it doesn't peel.
like I said, I can't see a lot of his videos, but he made sure I could see the Mustang one. And literally, it took him, I can guarantee it, I'll put $1 million on it. It took him more time to tape those freaking headlights up than it would have been to pull the 2 pins to pull the headlights out.
For sure.
It's literally 2 pins on the Mustangs.
Not including, I bet you that was $5 worth of tape.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and what I don't get is the emblems were painted. And the guy that owned that car reached out to me because he's like, "Why are you making fun of my guy? Why are you this? Why are you that?" I'm like, "Did you not see your car?" And he's like, "Yeah, it looks good." And the emblems were painted, the rubbers were painted, the third brake light was painted. I mean, the fucking antenna was painted. Nothing was taken off the car. And on the Mustangs, there's a rubber seal that's right on the edge of the headlight that overlaps the body. So
you know what? He should just spray everything and then scrape the windows off and keep going.
I'm not gonna lie. I was being a dick one day, and a guy came into my shop and he told me he had everything to paint his Firebird, and he's like, "What would you charge if I bring you all the materials to paint my car?" I was like, "Man, I'll spray it for $100 just to see what he would do." He brought me the tape, the paint, and the clear coat. No sandpaper, no tape, no nothing. So guess what I did? I rolled that motherfucker in the booth and I shot it. He was pissed. Then he looked at the contract and it said customer supplies all material for the job. He gave him my $100 and I handed him a razor blade. He scraped his windows off.
See,
So,
I will no longer allow people to bring
oh,
a
I won't do
prep
it now. That
car.
was like, I was being a
No.
smart ass. This was probably almost 20 years ago when I did that. Just being a smart ass to the guy because he was a used car salesman. He had a little car lot and all that shit. And I didn't want to really do it, but I did it. So,
Everybody jokes about doing it. New Edge
oh,
did it.
that's the problem with me. If I tell you I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, regardless if I get my ass in a sling or what. I kind of that's the one thing I have is my word, and if I go back on my word, what else do I have as a man?
So did
So
we ever see the giveaway paint job that he offered
he
to
did it all.
somebody? He offered a
No.
giveaway paint job last year, and that's the around the last communication I had with him.
No,
And the
I never saw
person
that
won
one.
it. I'm sorry.
I never saw that one.
And the person won it, but I don't know if that car ever got painted. I don't know. I know they were out of state and they were talking about transport. But now, like your giveaway that you did, you paid for transport, didn't you?
Yeah. Yep. I had the card brought to me and all that neat stuff.
Because
Because
I offered you to get you some supplies and all that, but I never had
yeah.
heard back on helping you out with some supplies.
And the funny part about me is I've done that probably 3 or 4 times in my career where I've seen people on there's a the dude's mentally like unstable and he had a Ford Probe and he wanted the car painted and this and that. He couldn't afford to paint it. And he was from where was that Garrett guy from? No, it wasn't from Ohio. Somewhere like it was within driving distance of North Carolina, but like Tennessee or something or somewhere out west. And they transported the car to me and I painted the car for free. And it bit me in my ass too. Like
But your
can't win for
giveaway car
losing.
was, or your giveaway paint job, it was a red Mustang, wasn't it, that you
Yeah,
painted?
yeah. I did a 99 Cobra that was supposed to be a $500 paint job giveaway to see how much it would actually cost me. And everybody kept busting my balls about it, saying that it wasn't a giveaway if I was charging you. And I was like, fine, fuck it. I'll do it for free. And I ate it. And the base coat on that car cost me $900 just for the base.
So what was your total out of pocket with transport, labor, materials,
With
roughly for your giveaway paint job?
with me supplying the transport was the pain in the ass part. That was like $800. And then the guy came in and picked up the car. So I only had to bring it to me. Um the base was like 9, the clear was another 3, and then the body work and all that shit. I probably had right at 27 in
Is
it
that
with
is
labor.
that with labor?
That's with paying the guys to tear it down and do the body work that was needed and all that stuff.
So do you pay your guys in house by the hour and you pay
Yeah,
them
they
by the
get paid.
job?
Um, my head tech gets a salary straight every week, and then all the other guys get paid by the hour.
I got you. So
So,
you came out of pocket a good bit for your giveaway.
yep.
And I still don't know if his giveaway was ever painted.
Like I proved my giveaway was done. I documented that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, you got that
So,
done quick, bro. I mean,
yep.
I'm talking like it came in and like within a few days, and you were on it like white on rice.
I literally stopped everything in the shop and
I
had
remember that.
everybody on the car. I had 6 people on that car tearing it apart, getting it done.
Yep.
That's awesome. You know,
So,
I mean,
and I'm thinking about doing another one, honest to God, just to do it, to grow the
but
channel and to
you
do it.
grew a substantial amount of followers, but you lost some. What was your highest following count on that?
On TikTok right now, the highest is right now that I've had.
But what
So,
was it when you were doing the giveaway? Because you
uh,
stated in one of your videos that you had
oh,
grew and but you
oh,
lost a bunch.
like literally when all the Shed King shit hit the fan, I went from like 450 followers to over 2,700 in 12 hours. And it went stupid. Every time I would log in, it would just be 150, 200 more followers. And then the giveaway added another like 1,000, 1,500 when we announced that. And then it slowed down. And when I stopped talking about the Shed King and was just doing straight paint work and showing actual stuff for the shop, I wasn't getting anything. Like I couldn't buy a follower. And then once all the JP stuff started happening again, it's like another 1,000 hit.
Beep.
So, yep. Oh, you got it. I keep saying, yep, my fault. So, but yeah, it seems like the more drama there is, the more followers you get, and I don't want that. I want it for my work, not for the BS.
Yeah, see,
That's
like
right.
once a year we buy a vehicle and we don't even put it on social media. We
Yeah.
buy a vehicle, we fix it up, we get some donations from maybe from interior place, and we find a family in need and we give them that refreshed up vehicle for Christmas.
Yeah.
But we only do that once a year because we spend a good amount of money on it, make sure it's good for maybe a single mother or a mom and dad with a couple kids or something like that, you know.
See, I wanted to do that. Like, I wanted to do a paint challenge to anybody that wanted to get in on it because the Shed King wouldn't
remember
do
that.
it. And I was like, yo, I'll throw down with anybody. I don't care who you are, where you are. I'll meet you somewhere. I'll get on a plane with
That's
the
how I
boys
met
and-
you. That's how I
Yeah.
met you. You tagged me in that.
Yep. And I was like, I don't give a crap who you are. You can be Rhino Templeton from freaking West Coast Customs. I don't care. I know him too. Right. But neither here nor there, nobody wanted to do it. And then that East Coast Ken guy got on my bandwagon with the Shed King and called him out after I did. And then I called that dude out because he was literally like 2.5 hours from me. And he's agreed to do it and then backed out. So,
You know, no matter whether you own a shop or you work at a shop, you know, you still, you know, once you enter into an agreement, don't back
you do
out.
it.
Yeah.
Don't
Because if we look at today's age, all we have is our word. And in a
exactly.
man's world, our word is a sign on
That's
a
what we
piece of
have.
paper. It's a handshake. But in today's world, in the 2025, that means nothing.
Nope.
Absolute nothing in today's world.
That's right.
Like if I tell you I'm gonna buy a car, and even though I found out it's a piece of shit, I'm still buying the car because I gave you my word that I'm gonna buy it. If I tell you I'm gonna have a car done on this date, that's why I was late to this thing this afternoon. I told
No,
this
it's
dude I
not
would
that.
have his
I know
car
that.
done
Yep.
today, and that thing fought me every which way I could do it, but I had to get it
I'm
done.
glad it all worked out the way it did because then we
It,
could actually have this conversation.
exactly. But like I would throw paint, swing some paint with anyone or anybody. Like I don't care. I know I'm not the best, and I don't claim to be the best, but I can guarantee you I can hold my own with anybody and everybody.
Yeah. You know,
So,
if we back up to the first little bit of the podcast, Murder the Finish asked you about yourself. He asked about me.
yeah,
Let's digress back to Murder the Finish because the Shed Queen has also been harping on Murder the Finish. So
yeah.
let's talk about Murder the Finish and see what his background is and how he's been dealing with the Shed Queen.
Yeah, sure. So, my auto experience, actually, I used to like do a lot of sheetrock stuff like that, guys. Like, so I did a lot of culinary stuff. My background is in factory work, all kinds of different stuff, and like I never could keep a job, always going to different things. And I said, you know what? One day I said, you know what? I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna just start my own business. And I started my own detail business. Okay, I was detailing cars. And dude, I was racking in the money that whole year. I was making a bunch of money, and it got slow season. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I better like look for something. And this one guy was like doing tree work or whatever. So I was like, all right, well, I'll go do tree work. I was making like $50 a day, like stupid, right? All right. So the guy used to park his bucket truck at the shop, right? And the one day the owner's like, "Hey, I heard you detail cars," and I was like, "Yeah, man. What I'll do your truck." So I did his truck, and then he offered me a job, and I said, "All right, man. I don't know nothing about bodywork, but yeah, we'll check it out. We'll try it out." And I started out washing cars and prepping parts, man, right from the bottom. And I worked my way up, and about 3.5 years later, and at that point, I started getting some experience behind my belt. I was priming cars, I was doing whatever, and he threw me to the wolves. He's like, "The painter quit, and you're the painter now." And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" And he threw me to the wolves, man. And I tell you what, when I walked in, 3 times I walked in and made curtains on a bedside 3 times in a row before I started to figure it out, guys. Black bedside curtains, had to resand it down.
So you literally had no experience whatsoever.
Not at all. And
But the experience you gained from that is that's the best type of experience there is on the job training.
Yes, absolutely. And as he says, you cost me a lot of money to be as good as you are. Joking around. Long story short, guys, obviously I worked for him for quite a while. A guy came, the painter that left came back. Me and him did not get along after that. I was painting, he was doing all the body work. I ended up quitting. Well, long story short, I went some other places, gained a lot more experience, was working flat rate in a couple different other shops, man, was doing really good. And it was about almost 4 years ago now. The original owner, Donnie, as everybody wants to say, Donald was the owner. Okay. He reached out to me and he offered me a partnership. So that's the road I'm on now. So it's really cool how everything came full circle. He knows that I do him good and he wanted me to do me good. He's 67 years old. He wants out. And that's exactly why we're in the boat we are. So
you've been there currently 4 years.
Yep.
That's excellent. Now, this goes to show no matter where you are in this world, that you can learn a new skill and a new trade while wearing a mask.
Yep. Yep. And fucking up the whole way to it.
I can't tell you the amount of times that I've made a run or a sag.
Sure.
If there's anybody that comes on any type of social media and says that they are the best, run.
That's right. That's right. Bullshit. That's what this whole channel is about. Anybody that follows me on all my Murder of the Finish content, everybody knows the first thing I will say, the minute you think you know everything is the minute you do not know shit. Yep. Every painter runs things. Every painter gets dry spots once in a while. It is all part of the experience. And absolutely, I agree.
Like I try to do 3 to 5 coats of clear and people think that's way too much, over exaggeration. I'm not, but I'm literally cutting and buffing two layers, 2 coats off of that finish. That's how we achieve those deep, rich, dark, slick paint
now
jobs.
Do you stack 3 to 5 at one time, or do you do like 2 and 3 and then?
So like most of the time, depending on the vehicle and the contract, some of them I'll do 3 to 4, some of them I'll at one shot. Sometimes I'll do 4 to 5, then I'll go back and cut it, and then I'll flow coat it 2 more times.
What clear are you using?
Well, I actually have like 3 different ones that I like. Most of them are Sherwin. I just picked up another brand. You have your Sherwin 1100755, which is their like high-end elegance type clear. Then you got CC 950. Now I have done that exact same thing to FC 720, but I will take that up to like 7 or 8 coats.
Jeez.
But FC 720 is super duper thin clear coat. It's super cheap. There's a new one that was just brought to me, and I've shot it a few times. I'm really liking it, but it's a very flowy clear. I've always been a 4-to-1 guy up until the past year. Now I'm moving more into the 2-to-1s, and everybody's like, it don't matter whether it's 2-to-1, 4-to-1. It really don't. But the guns I'm using and the quality I'm looking for, I seem to want to try to strive for that extremely higher solid content.
Yeah.
And you can get that on 4-to-1s,
You
but
can.
your 2-to-1s, you seem to get a little bit higher solid, 66%.
That's what I was about to say, 66, 67%.
But the one I'm using is a mid high solids, and it's Cantonment, I think is the brand of it.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. It may be, somebody else may make it for them, but it's super cheap. But I mean, I like my House of Color. I've shot a lot of House of Color, but I've probably shot 150 different brands of clears.
Oh, I've done every friggin'. You got the cheap shit all the way up to the $1,000 a gallon stuff. So
Yeah.
So
me
I
too.
mean, I'm more for the end product than I am a name.
yep, if it works, it works.
Now, like
And that's the crazy part about body work. You don't all have to do it the same way, as long as the end product is what it's supposed to look like. That's all that matters.
yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want something that's going to look great for a year and then all of a sudden just start popping. So,
What are you using for your restorations?
um, honest to God, right now I stuck with the 2021, the PPG DBC 2021.
Yeah.
It's a great.
And then the DBC 2000. The lower end stuff, I'm using the shop line, JC 630, just to get them in, get them out. It's lower end stuff.
Yeah.
Because it buffs like butter. Like,
I know Sherwin has used to be their top line, their top brand, used to be CC 930, and it's
okay,
now sold in their ATX brand. And that is a really, really, I'm talking really, really good clear. The only problem with it is you can't get your temperature activator. It's one temperature.
yeah. And
Um,
then like I don't mind. Like I like the House of Color show clear. I like that. It just seems a little pricey for what it is now. Like
yeah.
back in the day, it was really good stuff, and I don't know if it's the quality or where it's being made now, but
My daily shoot is dimensions 50. Is it 50/20? 50/20. That's
yeah,
my daily. It's like a 4-to-1, and it's really, really good. Besides the Cantonment, which is I'm really starting to like it. It's super, super thick. It's like honey.
Now, does
So
that have an accelerated reducer? Or is it just regular reducer you're throwing in that 4-to-1?
on the dimensions line, it's theirs. We can buy different temperatures on the dimensions. The ATX, it's just one. It's built into it. Only thing you're adding to it is the activator. The reducer is
Right. Okay. That was my
in.
next question. Yep.
Yeah, the reducer is already in the ATX clear.
Mhm.
You're just adding activator, so there's no temperature difference. Now, like your Elegance and your CC 950, you have that option to reduce it, but
See,
with
I've never understood that about clear coats. Why they make their activators and their reducers, it's different. Just like a regular 4-to-1 clear, everything's all built together. Never understood why they done that.
Now, if you want a cheap clear that will last a good substantial amount of time, your Finish One FC 720 and FC 740 is really, really good. I'm not even gonna lie. You can buy FC 720 and FC 740 from Amazon for about $100 a gallon kit.
Yep, I've used that clear before.
But if I do a cheap one, I'm now doing FC 740 instead of 720 because it's a little bit thicker. And yeah, that'd be uber cheap, like, you cussed me out, I'm getting you out of my shop quick, cheap, clear. But I mean,
Okay.
I'll do my door jams in that, or underneath my hoods in it, because there's if they're going to show car and then they're putting some type of cover underneath the hood, I still want to clear coat that, but they don't need to spend $500 on
A gallon of clear.
clear to go in an
Right.
area that's never seen.
That's right.
No.
But that's me. Again, I'm looking out for my customer and trying to give them the best bang for their buck.
All right, guys. Well, we are approaching about the 2 hour mark. Excuse me. I'm not sure how much longer you guys want to go. I just want to let you know that we are at 1 hour and 50 minutes. So I don't know if you want to start wrapping things up.
Was there anything else that we need to discuss? Anything else that we're going to discuss online about the Shed Queen? Or are we going to end it tonight?
I'm ending it tonight. Myself.
I got one more trick up
Other
my
than-
sleeve, and I just gotta. I have to do it because I already paid for the tickets.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest.
And and I'll talk to you guys offline about it. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Do we see a live in your near future?
You're gonna see 2 to 3 lives, depending on how many layovers I have.
My question is: transport involved in this?
Yes, that's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know nothing. I
There
just know.
is a plane with 2 seats available, and
Can you invite that Mr. Master Painter guy so he can go over there and record it for you?
oh, I don't even need that. I'm gonna have a crew with me, and we're gonna have GoPros and everything else on our person.
You're talking too much.
So,
Talking too much.
well, I mean, they'll find out. Stay tuned for like March 4th, 5th.
So let me state something here, because I've been on this live with you guys for a minute and almost 52. An hour and almost 52 minutes. There's a reason why I don't have a camera on. And there's also a reason why in my videos you don't see my face. And I've talked to Murder the Finish about this, is I wanted to see how far I could grow a social media without showing my face.
That's
So
pretty
you
Keep going. Don't reveal it tonight. Just
No,
keep
I'm
going.
not. I don't have a camera to even show you, actually. So if you go to my YouTube, you'll see me you'll see my body, you'll see parts of my face, but with a mask on. So, and it all comes and and comes from, there's a guy on YouTube that's really big, and he's made a huge name for himself. It's called Chris Fix.
Yep.
And he does not show his face. So I wanted to do that in the auto body to see how far I could carry a social media presence without showing my face.
See, I showed my face just for the simple fact that I wanted the Shed King to know who was the one talking shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, I've done a lot of stuff. I've helped with a lot of street outlaw guys, not Discovery, but individual racers.
yeah.
And I've done a lot. Well, I say a lot. It's 2 drivers. There's 2 of them I still stay in contact with. Matter of fact, I just got noticed that one of them did not get their contract renewed when Discovery Channel killed Street Outlaws.
Yep.
My homeboy Justin Swampstrom did not get his contract renewed.
Well, they offered him a contract, but it wasn't a big role. And
No, they canceled his contract.
oh, they can't. They actually can't.
He can still show up and race, but he will not make any money because they still get paid for the TV, whether they win or not, because it's TV.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, he can still show up. But yeah, so he told me, he's like, we're about to ramp the live back up. So because I do a lot of live streaming for these guys, so
Yeah.
I just wish I'm probably won't have to sign any type of NDA, so I'll be able to be on part of their podcast and stuff. So
That's cool.
that's the reason why there's no camera, because I want to see how far I can build this presence without showing my face. Just I've told Murder the Finish, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to let everybody know when they go to my social medias, why they don't ever see a face.
That's cool. But it's
awesome, man. It
Yeah.
really is.
Once it hits 100,000 on either one of them, I'll show.
shit. If I hit 10,000 on any of them, I'll freaking dance around naked. I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
really.
That's gonna be blur vision. But anyway, do we have anything else about the Shed Queen that we want to talk about tonight? Does anybody watching have any questions about the Shed Queen that they want to bring up?
Yeah, honestly, anybody in here that wants to ask a quick question, guys, we'll do a little Q&A. I see about 6 people are in here right now. I know I didn't live stream this on Facebook like I usually do. But honestly, guys, if there's anybody in here that wants to ask any questions before we hop off and leave Mr. Shed King in the past, now's the time, guys. So anybody in here that wants to ask any questions, I think future live streams, we are going to be offering a link to bring people in a guest box. For now, we obviously got different circumstances tonight. So I'm glad it still happened. But anybody that wants to ask any questions, let me know.
I just realized I misspelled my name the whole entire video.
I know. I was going to say that. I'm like, Ops Paints.
I corrected it.
You're really going to have nobody know who you are. Ops.
Hey, you know, we're the master here. We don't want nobody to know.
Right. Master painter, man.
Let me bring up
Mr.
YouTube and
Master.
see if anybody has said anything. No, nobody said anything.
No, nothing
Well,
going on. So, all right, guys.
Cool deal, bud.
I really think, on my end, I know myself, you're never going to hear that sucker out of my mouth again. There's no more talking about the Shed King for me, other than I'm probably going to post the crap out of this podcast episode. But other than that, guys, I'm done talking about the Shed King and all his nonsense down in Texas. Thank you guys so much for coming on this podcast episode, though. I know it was really hard to pull together after all this. I know we had all kinds of technical difficulties and things came up in our lives and it not happened on time, and that's all right. New Edge, I appreciate you, dude. I wish you the best luck in all your travels and
You too, bud.
endeavors in the future. And Oops Paints, obviously, it's always a pleasure to chat with you, buddy. And, I'm glad you came on too. So, absolutely, guys.
I appreciate you inviting me on, bud.
Yeah, man.
Just remember, we got to hold our composure, keep our business in our main thoughts and presence.
Yep.
Don't let nobody stir our pot but our wife and kids.
Oh, hey. That's all I got to say about that one.
Yeah, they do a good job of that, right?
Yep.
I appreciate the offer, allowing me to come on and finally get a chance to talk with Mike as well. It's been great.
It's been fun. I appreciate it all, guys.
Yeah, it's been a good time, guys. And Oops, obviously, I want to be in contact you with other things regarding this podcast episode. So I appreciate you guys just being on here, being cool, having a good time, shooting the shit, talking a little shit, whatever. It's all fun and games, guys. And like I said, this is all for entertainment purposes only, for any reasons that any may maybe be watching. So, all right, guys. I think we're going to call it there. What do you think?
That'll work.
Good. Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast. Make sure you guys go follow New Edge Paint 2021. So New Edge 2021 on TikTok. I don't know if he's on any other social media. Make sure you guys go follow Oops Paint on TikTok, guys. And other than that, guys, we had a great second podcast episode. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. This has been Murder the Finish, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Bye.